Hey guys, Andy here, and today I'm going to briefly introduce the different workspaces within DaVinci Resolve. Now, DaVinci Resolve is unique among other video editing programs in that it is not just a video editing program. Unlike other software where it focuses on specific parts of the content creation process, DaVinci Resolve is a one-stop shop solution that allows you to create content without having to switch to different programs. And it does this through its 7 workspaces. And today we're going to be briefly going over the features of each one. So first up, we have the media workspace, which we're already on. And this is the starting point for any project. It's dedicated to importing, organizing, and preparing all of your media assets, whether it's video clips, audio, images, graphics, and so forth. And so up here we have the media storage section, which is a basic browser that allows you to navigate your computer to find your media files. Then down here we have the media pool, which is the central area for where you import and organize clips you want to use in your project. And you can also create bins or folders to further organize things. So over here we have the media viewer, which allows us to preview individual clips before adding them to the timeline. Then down here, we have the metadata section, which allows us to view and edit different detailed information about each clip. And so above the metadata section, we have the embedded audio section. So if you select an audio clip, or if you have a video clip that has audio, it will display the different channels here as well once you preview the clip.
Everybody's in the shot, everybody's good.
Maybe like your ending part would be like 2024 Hanami, let's go,
Like so. And so the main purpose of the media workspace is that you start here to begin importing your footage and various media assets into Resolve, and then from there you can start to organize them as well. Next, we'll move on to the cut workspace. The cut workspace is designed to edit individual clips for very quick editing. So if you just want something fast that you just put out there, this is the workspace for that. And so one of the main features of the cut workspace is it gives you dual timelines, which allows you to quickly get from one major section to another without having to constantly zoom in and out of your timeline. And so the top section here is called the source tape, which is the overall project overview, which allows you to see the various clips as they are put together on the timeline, and allows you to quickly get from one section to another without having to scrub all the way through, although you can do that as well. Then you have the bottom timeline here, which allows you to see the project as it is. And so up here we have various tools which allow you to make very quick edits to the timeline, different overwrites and changes. And over here we have cuts, dissolves, and things like that. And then over here we have the fast review button, which allows you to speed up playback automatically to help you scrub through your timeline. And so like I said earlier, the main purpose of the cut workspace is that allows you to quickly assemble a rough cut and scrub through the timeline. So if you need to just get something out there quickly, just as a proof of concept, it allows you to do that very quickly as well. Next, we'll move on to the bread and butter of DaVinci Resolve, and that is the edit workspace. And so the purpose of the editing workspace is that it is the space for editing your video projects. It's the main traditional NLE, non-linear editor timeline. And it's the one you'll be very familiar with if you've worked with Premiere Pro or Final Cut or anything like that. It has all your basic accoutrements lined there. So here you have the multi-track timeline, which allows you to add video clips, picture clips, audio clips, things of that nature, various motion graphics as well. And then you have different trimming tools up here. And then you have the effects library up here. Allows you to use different transitions and effects down in this area. And then moving up to the top right area, you have the inspector, which allows you more detailed control for adjusting various clips and transitions and things like that. And so on the left-hand side, you have your keyframes, which allows you to adjust very detailed parameters for certain effects and transitions and things like that. And then, of course, you have your media pool over here, which allows you to drag and drop different media that's in your media pool from the media workspace. And as I said earlier, this is going to be your main workspace when it comes to creating content here on DaVinci Resolve. This is going to be the main area where you do that. You construct your timeline and put the projects together. And then next we have the Fusion workspace. And so the main purpose of Fusion is to allow for motion graphics and different visual effects and different node-based work as well, including 3D animation effects and stuff like that. And so down here you have the node editor, which instead of layers like in Premiere Pro, you use nodes, which allows you to edit your effects in terms of a flowchart rather than something that's vertically layered. And so each node performs a specific function, which right now, since we don't really have anything, it's just in and out. So it just shows where the media starts, where the media ends. But you can also come up and add various effects as well, different particle effects. You can add 3D images, 3D text. You can even change the camera angle in a 3D environment if that's what you're working with. You can change the color, curves, brightness, blur effects, all kinds of stuff. And as I said, you can also add text as well as 3D text. And you can do paint and rotoscoping effects in this section as well. And so the main purpose, as I said earlier, of the Fusion workspace is to allow for you to not only add motion graphics and visual effects, but to more precisely control them. So think of it as Adobe After Effects. Then next we have the color workspace. And obviously, as the name implies, the main purpose of the color workspace is to allow for very precise color correction. And fun fact, DaVinci Resolve originally started off as a color correction program. And so if you go up here, just like with Fusion, there's also a node editor as well. So you can add different nodes for different layers of color correction. Down here, you have your primary color wheels. Over here, you have your curves. And then you can also add keyframes here as well. And then you can also, just like with the cut workspace, you have a very quick timeline scrub right here in the center, as well as the various clips and assets above that. And of course, you have your timeline preview in the center as well. And so, as I said before, the main purpose of the color workspace is to, well, adjust the color in very precise detail. And then the next workspace we have is called Fairlight, which the main purpose of Fairlight is to give you a full digital audio workstation, and it's dedicated to helping to adjust your audio in post. So it includes editing, mixing, any sort of sound design, and mastering. And so here, much like the editing workspace, we have our main timeline, but you can only see the audio waveforms here. But you do have a video preview up in the top right in case there are video clips attached as well. So we also have different mixers above the timeline as well. And then we have different effects that we can add here on the right-hand section.
So be like, ka-ching. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Welcome to Yogi Park. I'm with my homies.
And then we have the EQ up here as well, so you can see how loud things are depending on the different tracks. And so the main purpose of Fairlight is to help you mix your audio and do any sort of corrections as needed. And then last but certainly not least, we have Deliver, which is the last workspace we're going to be talking about today. And it's the last stop before you make your video. And so the purpose of this is to render and export your video. And so from here, you can change the different export settings, you can adjust them however you like, choose different encoders, frame rates, quality, choose where it gets sent to, you can choose a file name, things like that. And like I said, the main purpose of Deliver Workspace is to render and export your video project. And it's just that easy. So yeah, that was a brief overview of the DaVinci Resolve Workspaces. If you like this tutorial, be sure to give a like and subscribe for more tutorials. And if you have a question about DaVinci Resolve, be sure to leave it in the comments down below, and your question could be the next tutorial. This is Andy, signing off for now, and as always, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.